guys, how's it going? So if you're seeing this, that means that it is a few days before Christmas 2024. We have come out today for a nice little bushcraft camp in representation of the holidays. I've only got about an hour 45, maybe 2 hours before the sun sets, and I'd come out to this big old black oak tree that got blown over during Hurricane Helene. There's a spot right here behind me that we are going to take and clear out. We have got the Wolf Valley Forge axe with us, which I'm really happy to get out for this winter. Just something about having an axe in the woods during the winter just feels right. So we're going to take and clear out probably this one branch and then some of these smaller ones. And we got a pretty simple setup. Just going to be putting I don't really even need a tarp because it's not going to rain. So we'll see. If it looks like the tarp's not going to fit without something happening and potentially poking and damaging the tarp, we might just sleep under the stars with the Bivy. But yeah, got a really nice steak to cook up later as well. And the temp should be dropping tonight. It has been kind of unusually warm the past few days, with the temps getting up in the high 50s and the nights just being in the kind of upper 40s. But today the high is 46. Right now it's about 42, and tonight we should be getting down to about 35 degrees. So really happy that the weather's getting back on track for winter temps. I got my Lister River wool bushcraft anorak, just wearing this flannel and a t-shirt, hiking in, was very, very comfortable. Yeah, let's take and kind of figure out where we're actually going to end up positioning ourselves. So yeah, just a look again. This right here was just one heck of a big old black oak. Probably wouldn't have hurt to have brought a saw with me, but we're just going to be rocking with the axe on this one. But now I was looking right here. There's a spot that looks like that would be even better than what I'd originally thought, like underneath where this piece is. And it's actually really cozy. So I think all I'm going to really need to do is clear out all of these limbs, and like this one right here, right in front of you guys, and that will actually be the most cool setup, because you can probably tell by the thumbnail, but I brought out Christmas lights and a way to power them, and I think this will look really cool by the time we get done with it, hopefully. This one right here, I'm trying to get through, just had a lot of pressure on it, a lot of weird angles here, working where we're at. But that axe right there was one of my most used items during the old hurricane cleanup process. And some of this might actually be dried out enough that we can take advantage of it for our cooking fire. Bro, that spot right there is so perfect. You probably can't see it yet. God damn, getting poked from every direction. And this could be one heck of a spot to actually have a stealth shelter, because we could take a lot of this and just kind of fence ourselves in, but we're going to be doing the opposite of a stealth setup, that's for sure. So yeah, this is where we're at and what we're working with. So this spot right here, even though all of that right there where y'all was is pretty slanted and like a slope, this area right here is pretty much perfectly flat. Need to clear out and move like that, those sticks and stuff out of the way. This part of the tree right here that's still connected, I'm not going to move it because it's kind of acting as a bit of retention, because I want to try to leave some of the debris on the ground. Because one thing's for sure, whenever this tree fell, it took a handful of smaller trees and a lot of limbs from other trees with it. And then this tree right here will keep us from rolling down the hill. think that right there is about as good as it's going to get. So for our base and our ground sheet, we've got our Savata mat. And since this area is so sheltered from the wind and we don't have any precipitation inside, just for like some dew that'll fall at night and in the morning, I'm just going to go with the Bivy by itself. Get this laid out to get an idea of our area that we got. Sprayed this with permethrin, and my Bivy's been coated with permethrin. In the lifetime that I've had it, that thing's had who knows how many coatings of permethrin on it. So if they're even like, it's going to be getting down to about 35, so close to freezing. So I'm not worried about insects or anything like that. Even though, because I brought the Woodland Gore-Tex Bivy, the U.S. military Bivy. Oh yeah. That is very nice. And we're going to have to come back and actually do a full bushcraft shelter build here, I think, because I hadn't noticed this exact spot in the middle of this tree where it fell. But I think we can make one really, really cool and actually decently large interiored shelter. So let me know if that's something you guys would like to see. And before it gets dark, so we're not tripping all over ourselves in the cable, I want to go ahead and try to figure out how I'm going to string these lights up. Now, it is a long strand of outdoor Christmas lights because it's what I had and what I thought would actually look pretty cool. There's that. I'm going to try to not get her food and everything drug out yet because I moved her sleeping package. We're going to have to walk around that area. So there's our lights. Just put them in a bag for storage. And then I'd about forgot I had this thing, because I couldn't get any USB powered lights in time. But this is something, this was like a little bit heavier to bring in. But this is something that I had originally got for like when I went kayaking, and we use this to power lights. But what is it, All Power? Yeah, All Powers. So you hadn't used this in a long time, but I charged it up and it just has one regular, like house plug. The only thing is, like, that is not waterproof at all. So, that's why I'm glad that we didn't have to worry about precipitation on this one, but there we go. Look at that. That's as festive as it gets. Smart and make sure we keep track of where our plug-in end is. I want the power station to kind of be up there near where my head's at, so if anything, I could stick it inside the Bivy if I needed to. These are actually coming undone. That's why I like these big bulbs, is I feel like these don't get tangled as easily. And plus they're bigger, they look cooler. I'm hoping we don't have an issue with these things popping off. Considering none popped off in the bag, I think it'll be okay. Run one down through that centerpiece right there, but I think that is going to be really cool. So, moment of truth is you got to plug her in. And yeah, obviously this will look a lot better once it's dark. And we have light. That is awesome. There's even a rock right there we can set a power bank on. And yeah, it says 17 hours is the estimated run time for this. So. Okay, and yeah, I want to take and clear out these trees right here, because just over there, that's a spot where we've hammock camped a couple times. So I've actually already got a fire pit right there, kind of behind that tree where you can't quite see. But there's no way to walk around and get to it without doing this. I don't want to be stumbling back and forth over this thing in the dark. Because I had seen this fallen tree for the first time whenever we come out to do that last hammock camp in this spot. So, hello. This right here is a black birch tree, so we could even take and use some of this bark, but I had taken clear a pine tree out of a trail a few days ago, and there was some fat wood on it, and I brought a few of them sticks out, so I'm going to probably use those. To be honest, this one right here ain't really in the way. Just stepping over that like that ain't really that hard on you. And yeah, this is our little fire pit area. That's going to be pretty much the perfect size. I'll probably widen that out a little bit, but we do need to clear it out. Get these leaves away from it since the last time we was here. We did get a heavy rain last night, but it was very, very windy throughout the day. So like everything on the top layer is pretty dry, but underneath stuff is still pretty much soaking wet. But yeah, right now the tent feels really good with just this flannel on. So I don't think we really need to break the anorak / Boreal shirt, whichever you prefer to call it out. Out of flannel, we've got that shirt, and I also brought the hand warmer so we can throw the hand warmer in the foot of the sleeping bag if we need to, and probably cook ourselves out of there. And you got, well, actually too, I always forget that the Bivy itself adds a few degrees of warmth overall too. Definitely not going to get cold. I just can't wait to see how them lights look once it gets a bit darker. Now, because of the type of ground this is, and since it hasn't been freezing temps prior to this, we would probably be fine to just, I mean, comfort-wise, we're definitely fine. But as far as insulation from the ground, that's probably a good idea to go ahead and, because I brought an inflatable pad too, because I wasn't sure how comfortable the surface area would be that I would be laying on depending on where I was at. Okay, and I just found one bulb casing that fell off, but if we only lose one during that aggressive setup process, I'm okay with that. We'll just set that right there at the tail end of the cord. And I mean, I brought out this 6 a.m. tarp with me if we needed it. There's a Recon 2 bag, the Bushman travel gear pad, and I mean, this pad inside of the Bivy would definitely be enough by itself because it's insulated and it's inflatable. It's got an R value 3.1. This ISO mat, this sub-bottom pad has an R value of 2, so that's over 5, which is plenty good down to, in my experience on this type of ground, I mean, you're easily good, I think, to about 20 degrees. And something I found in the back of my gear I hadn't used in a hot minute is this Zoo Believes camp pillow. It's one of the first pieces of gear, I think, or first camp pillows that I used on my channel. So, got a very, very comfortable bed set up for this Christmas themed overnighter. In the brain of my pouch, there's our Eaton Wolf. No, it's, I don't think I've used this pad in this Bivy. I think dimension-wise we should be fine. I knew that this was a mummy style pad, because most of my other ones, like most all my insulated pads are square or rectangular. Gotta be careful, watch all these jagged edges. There we go, it's almost like it was made for it. Let's do the sleep bag first. I'm not seeing a single insect, so like I'm really not worried about that at all. Like anything, it's really not that big of a deal regardless. But that way we just give this plenty of time to lock up. This synthetic insulation of this thing actually locks up pretty quickly. And it's center zips. I mean, that unlike the Bivy itself, but in my experience, the zipper on this thing, it's so smooth it doesn't really affect the inside. It's a bit dirty because last time we used it, just got some leaf debris in there. But yeah, too, they have like a material on the bottom to where you can just use these directly on the ground. It's like a pretty like waterproof bottom on them, which is nice. So they're really well suited for just laying directly on like an ISO mat. And inflate, this one's all just insulation. Its bag, I like the fact that its bag is attached to it. And home sweet home. And do a little bit of fire prep. So in this I've got that fat wood that I mentioned. So yes, all these pieces have like hardly any fat wood qualities to them, but there was just one vein in there, and I thought it would be a great chance to test out the fine carbon ability of this extreme ratio knife. There you go. So this is one sexy blade. And this right here is also going to be our sit pad area since the ground's damp, because I didn't bring any chair or insulated anything. So you just want really, really thin fine shavings. This bad boy right here is just razor sharp. And that's more than enough. I just want to whittle this down some more because there's honestly something just kind of peaceful about. Oh, and now these lights are really starting to look good. And that is what our little non-hidey hole looks like from about 20-ish feet away. Alrighty. Get our ferro rod out. Like I said, they got fire plugs, but we're going to go straight fat wood. I don't remember if this one, some of the coating off of it, but this is a really thick. This is one of the Titan Survival ferro rods. Oh, there we go. Just a couple lights, and our fat wood is ablazing. But yeah, we need to get a coal base established because I am ready to get that steak on here ASAP. So our fire is cooking away. Right there is our beautiful steak that has been pre-seasoned. This right here is the County Com titanium grill. If I can get it out of here. Slowly but surely. Got our little tongs. And it looks like that is going to be just big enough to fit that bad boy on there. Alrighty, it's time to make some magic happen. That right there is one healthy hunk of meat. Flamed up on us a wee bit there. Oh, but that right there is what perfection is looking like. Okay, let's take a gander at what she's looking like. And that is definitely plenty done for me. I could even took it off just about a minute sooner, but it's not too done at all. Hopefully this works. Yes, sir. My friends is our end product, and right now I can already tell you that right there looks way pinker, redder than it actually is. Like a lot more than it actually is in person. I think it's just messing with the saturation or the contrast one. But look how juicy that thing is. Just grabbing her by the bone there. You see how that side's done. Real nice. Alrighty, it's time to dig into this bad boy. And I gotta say, sitting by the fire, still haven't felt like I needed to put on the wool anorak yet. Well, that is fan-flippin-tastic. Oh, and that seared fat, man. You just can't beat it. So, guys, I'm going to take and finish devouring this steak. And I don't really think there's anything else that we're going to be doing. So I'll get back with y'all whenever it's time to crawl in the sleeping bag and hit the hay. Okay, I think I just did a lot of talking right there, and my camera wasn't recording, but she is now, so apologies for that. But no, I just have been chilling by the fire. I took my wool anorak off. It's in the backpack there. We got our water. This thing right here says that it's got 21 hours of runtime with just running these lights. So I'm actually probably going to leave them going since we'll be covered by the Bivy. I've got the same socks on that I had on. These Zamberlin boots just do a phenomenal job at keeping your feet dry. I mean, once you're chilled out, the Gore-Tex lining draws really well. I've got a thicker pair of socks in my bag that I can put on if need be. And the hand warmer is in the top of that pocket. But right now, I mean, I think right now we're probably sitting at about 40-ish degrees. Like, being out of the wool anorak there, the Lester River Bushcraft anorak, you know, I can start to feel the cold set in a bit. My hands without gloves on are coldish. The air pad and everything is nice and inflated still. Oh, so we'll just worm our way in here. Make sure we keep our headlamp with us. But yeah, the more I use center zip bags, the more I like them. Very, very nice. And then, like I said, leave the hat on. That keeps, if we are sleeping on our back, that'll keep this off of our face. But yeah, guys, with all of that said, I'm just going to focus on getting this sleeping bag warmed up on the inside, and I will talk to y'all in the morning. So, good night. Oh, good morning, guys. How's it going? Oh, it's a pretty cool, a bit of a foggy morning, but I gotta say that this sleeping bag and this setup, I was perfectly comfortable and warm throughout the night. Didn't need to get the anorak or anything. I think the combination of this sleeping bag with its temp rating and the just the heat retention that the Bivy offers, and the fact, you know, it wasn't losing any body heat to the ground with the combination of these two pads. I know, just really comfortable. This spot's dope. It got a little breezy, but just this area is really, really sheltered with this fallen tree. One thing, I kind of perused through some of the clips yesterday. This part of the tree I'm at is the very tippity top of the tree, and yeah, I'll just make sure, because I am going to do a bushcraft shelter build here at this spot, and we'll be looking at the root system again. I'll even put a link to the hammock video that we did when we first found this fallen tree, and I showed like where this thing uprooted at and everything. So sorry about not showing that in the earlier section of the video. But yeah, I looked at the power bank system, and it says that we got 12 hours, 11 hours left to run these lights after that time span, and that's, you know, it's been sitting out in the cold. So just as a reference point, you could easily run these, because that was throughout the night, so you could easily run this long strand of lights for that little power bank for probably 2-3 nights, no problem. And I think they look really, really cool. I mean, as you can see, it's a bit foggy as you look out through there, but all in all, great spot. I really like this spot. I'm gonna have to hold on to it for a bit. That's going to do it for this one, guys. Once again, Merry Christmas to everybody. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you have not already. Share the channel and the videos with your friends, family, anybody enjoys good outdoor activities and gear. If you are interested in any of the gear, check the links down in the description. Try to link to everything that is still available on the internet. Make sure to hit me up that comment section. Thoughts, opinions, questions, things you would like to see in 2025. There may or may not be another video posted before the new year, but you know, we'll see. Either way, we're going to hit 2025 hard. And yeah, guys, till the next one, adios.